Walk down the quiet, shaded path along the Mississippi and try to imagine what this area might have looked like when steam-powered sawmills stretched along the riverbanks through downtown and into North Minneapolis. Picture lumber stacked several stories high and stretching for miles on both sides of the river. The river certainly is a different place than it was 150 years ago. When the United States government opened the land around St. Anthony Falls to development before the Civil War, industrialists flocked to the river's banks to build sawmills. These mills helped make Minneapolis the largest sawmilling city in America. Using logs from the vast pine forests of northern Minnesota, the output of the mills grew exponentially through the middle decades of the 19th century. At its peak, the industry churned out 12 million board feet of wood each year. At first, much of the lumber floated to towns further downstream, but the growing communities at the Falls and at St. Paul soon demanded more and more for local use. To those settlers, it seemed the northern forest could never be exhausted, and labor was just as cheap. But milling was a dangerous job. With so much sawdust, fires were an ever-present threat, and the 6 artificial limb businesses in Minneapolis suggest that gruesome accidents were frequent. In just 50 years, sawmilling's peak had passed. By 1910, nearly all of the pine forest to the north had been cut down, and the sawmilling industry at the Falls dissolved.